Let's go.
All right, let's get it, man. So you're gonna get your haircut soon?
Dude, I need one for sure. I need it. Like, when I know it's past my ears, I know you can't see with the headphones, but, like, that's how I know I'm like, I gotta get it cut. But
I know I need to do something with mine. I'm looking like in the camera right now, and it's like headband style. So
right.
we'll see. I'm gonna do something with it eventually. Well,
Hey,
welcome to the Pulse Neighbors.
what's up?
It's Thursday, April, I believe, 19th, but it could be the 18th. Who knows?
Man. Jeez.
Justin, how about you just introduce yourself, man? Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Justin Groff, and just a Christ-based entrepreneur. And I started this kind of landscape company when I was 9 years old. I was just a go-getter, always loved being outside. Had no clue it was going to be an actual business, and just was kind of like the neighborhood kid, just mowing lawns, cutting grass, and I just loved the outdoors. And I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago, it turned into a legit business. And at junior year of high school, had about 70 customers, and I'm like, bro, I got to hire.
Yep.
So that's what I did. I hired some high school, kids, and it was good during the meantime, but things change obviously as you grow. So yeah, I just I've been an entrepreneur though at heart, and that's kind of what I do. And more to the story coming up later though. Like, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I told you right before we did this I wasn't gonna ask you about like profit and loss or anything, profit and loss statements or anything, but I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just ask it in the parts.
Right.
How much do you think you made per lawn? You had 70 lawns.
Per lawn, so mowing grass, you actually don't it's not profitable, I would say. I mean, dude, your margins are like 8 to 12%.
Yeah.
It's really in the landscaping where you make those margins and you make money as a whole, as a company. So doing it like kind of by myself, smaller, like you make more money, and it's more profitable. But once you start hiring like employees and team members and all that kind of stuff, your operating expenses definitely skyrockets. And too, like buying new equipment, like capital expenditures, like stuff adds up super quick. Mowers, trucks, trailers, all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, to answer your question, I was making, and my prices were a little off, but it could be $1,500 to $1,700 a year per customer. That's the whole season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do the math on that.
Man, I was messing.
Probably about
15 and
100 grand, 100 grand in revenue.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe a little less or more. I don't know. So,
second part of the question is,
yeah,
per lawn, how much do you think you make now? You've optimized your systems.
Oh shoot. Well, I know my price is a lot better than before. So our average property is $45. But that's just like starting, that's our minimum, and it goes up from there. And yeah, we go up from 45 to, we do commercial contracts now. So we're not just doing residential. We're doing commercial and residential. So we have about 60% residential, 40% commercial, that kind of ratio split. But we're doing, last year we did about just under $1 million in revenue with 5 crews. And that's doing lawn care and landscape maintenance. My goal is to, grow from 5 crews to 6 to 7 crews this year.
Yeah.
But it's a process. We had to get rid of some bad customers because obviously you got to weed out the bad ones that, are not your clientele. And it's tough because you want them to keep the revenue base, but it's worthwhile for the business long term because those customers are just not your fit, right, as a company. So yeah.
All right, man. I got me a little bit to where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I was interested,
I talk about numbers. I love numbers, man. It's business is all about numbers.
Yeah,
it's a language.
I became a numbers man. I grew up as a numbers man, but then high school, hated it. College, didn't like it as much, but then learned to like it towards the end of it.
Right.
They're the universal language.
Right. Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, how your business in particular, kind of evolved over the years? Like, I mean, that must be crazy thinking back. I mean, that was a long time ago when you were having 70 lawns and didn't have a crew, but
Well, it wasn't even that long ago. I mean, that's probably, I'm 21 now, so it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So it
yeah.
wasn't
So,
too long. Like, time flies fast, dude.
Yeah.
As you get older, it goes crazy fast.
yeah. I'm feeling that right now, man.
How old are you right now?
I'm 24. I turned 25 this summer.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still a young buck. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Let's
still
go.
a young buck. I'm still a young buck, man. I got the first hint of like age hitting your weight though. Metabolism just dropped off for a second.
Yeah.
So like took advantage of it for a little bit. I know I'm gonna get back right, but
Right.
oh, it hit real quick.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
only
gotta-
24.
Yeah. No, I'd definitely try to. The health is like definitely a priority for me because I think it's easily to lose sight and track of it because I love food too, bro. I could eat food all day, every day. You know what I mean? But yeah, healthy, like staying healthy is just definitely a core part. You know, if your health is not in balance, then how else are you supposed to do everything else in life? So
We're gonna come right back to this health thing. I'm gonna finish up that last thought on
Right.
like where I was kind of just trying to go with that. I was just curious like how you would have grown and like see yourself transitioning from that guy making $1,500 a lawn to somebody managing 5 crews all over the city. Like, how do you describe your growth and
Yeah.
what do you attribute to it?
So a lot of the growth happened just by quality of our service. And I mean, I got all the energy in the world. So I just wanted to go, make things happen, get opportunity, just acquire customers.
Gotcha.
And it took time, but actually like it's, you know, I try to use my age to my advantage as much as possible. And I feel like a lot of people our age will be scared and live in fear just with how young they are. They think they can't do it, or, you know, people are saying, you know, like they're just hating on them or just naysaying that you can't do it. And I want to be the complete opposite with that. I believe I can do all things through Christ, and that's just what I've attributed to do. And God's definitely showed up. Like I would not be here today without him for sure. I mean, it's crazy the amount of scale, opportunity, and growth that has happened. But a lot of it is just marketing, business through social media, Facebook, next door neighbor app, then like cold calling, cold emailing. Like nobody wants to do that anymore, but you know, I want to do stuff that nobody wants to do because I know that's an opportunity for me to get that business. And just showing up to networking events and all that kind of stuff, like being the go-to guy. So that's kind of how it all worked out.
Yeah, because you came to our last master class, and that's you thinking business-minded for sure. You're thinking, where can you get more customers than just one customer?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to look at things. And real estate's also a cool space. I don't know much about your real estate aspirations. Where do you think you land in the real estate world?
Yeah, I love real estate. Like I have 5 properties of my own right now. They're all single family. 4 of them are in the inner city.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry about that. Getting rid of this cold, but yeah, 4 properties, and then I got my house. Technically, it's an investment property. I'm house hacking it.
Yeah.
I bought that when I was 18, and it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house. We got 3 acres. That's where we store all of our equipment. But I love real estate. I mean, passive income, baby. That's what I love. And I wanna go into bigger pockets of real estate, like apartments, multifamily, hotels, self-storage facilities, like anything with massive amount of units. That's kind of what I want to acquire through private equity. I want to create a private equity firm because landscaping is definitely not my long term. It's just a stepping stool or a stepping stone to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
So
you think you're gonna leave the lawn care behind, or are you gonna always be the guy at the top of it?
man, I want to grow this thing still. I want to scale it big time. So I actually own a cleaning company too, and a landscape company, obviously. But I want to scale these to 50 to 100 million in the next 5 or 10 years. And I know it's kind of ambitious, but like, bro, I think big. You only got one life, so it's like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm again trying to do it through a private equity, creating a private equity firm and looking at it from a macro level rather than being in the business. So we plan just to franchise both of them and then take them to the next level, whether that's selling them later down the road or just keep building them. But excellent service companies with excellent customer experience, man. those are the type of companies I want to build, like Chick-fil-A's of the world, or Crew Car Wash, or Bucky's gas stations. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll have to talk offline about that sometime. We've got some linking aspirations there. Big goal of mine here in the next year is to start a lawn care company.
Yes, sir.
And then I do also think cleaning is going to be a part of that here in the near future as well.
Sure.
TBD, but probably going to work myself into that short-term rental market for property management. I'm doing long-terms right now. I'm loving it. But I'm seeing the need and the opportunity opening up in Indianapolis for short-term property management.
Yeah.
So that's might be something I roll out soon.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Are you trying to do that like full cycle, full service type deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Right now, it's mainly just the management part of things.
Yeah.
It's mainly just the management part of things, and we sub out for a lot of the contracting. But as we grow, plan is to kind of in-house 2 or 3 of those services at a time. That way we're just full service on the house. One, you're retaining the revenue and that person's in your sphere the whole time. But outside of that, you're also just able to deliver immaculate service when you're touching every aspect of it.
Yeah, if it's all in-house. Yeah,
it's so much easier to do it because you sub out something, and I mean, I trust the people that are on the other side, but I don't know what their schedule looks like. Like, my priority, when is it going to get done? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
dude, for sure.
In-housing stuff's awesome. If you ever need some management help or maintenance, are you a maintenance crew now too? I bet you do.
Well, like, dude, honestly, like, that's kind of what we're trying to look at, is trying to be like a neighborly of the world, or service master. We're trying to have companies that kind of work together full cycle.
Yeah.
Property management, acquiring, cleaning, landscaping. But these are going to be big brands. They're not going to just be like local brands. Because I want to be at a global aspect to this, and I know there's a lot of opportunity in different markets, not only in the U.S., but around the world.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's just a cool thing to look at in the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're thinking that big, man. That's wild.
I think thinking long-term is really important, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some more of that in me. I mean, I'm focused on Indiana right now.
That's a good focus, though. Yeah, can't get distracted. As being an entrepreneur, it's easy to get distracted by other opportunities.
It is, for sure. I just got shiny object syndrome laying in bed the other night. It was right after UFC 300, and I was like, man, maybe I want to get an Airbnb in Vegas. And then I talked to somebody about it. It was like, it's so hard to do an Airbnb. There's tons of regulations.
Oh, gotcha.
All that. So I'd have to really dive into it, and I got stuff I got to do here.
Right. Yeah.
But the goal for me is also to kind of be more high level and not in the company and on the company more. So I'm like 50% in the company right now. You want to be like maybe 20. Like that's my goal at least.
Yeah.
That way I can kind of plan for the business a little bit further. But I'm brand new, man. I started my company.
Sorry, man.
Get it out, man.
It's out of nowhere.
I started in October, so
dang, bro.
We're just in our infancy,
dude. But it's just the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Come on.
I told you we were gonna come back to health. Remind me where you grew up. Did you play sports growing up around here?
Yeah. So I grew up in Fishers, just on the northeast side of Indy, and I played basketball, volleyball. I did cross country. And then, dude, now I'm getting to pickleball, man. I love that sport. It's so similar to ping pong, and I'm pretty good at ping pong.
Yeah.
I'll ball out on that too. But I don't know, man. I just love, no matter what sport it is, football, basketball, I could play anything. I'm just one of those guys. I just love being active, just getting out there, playing with the boys or whatever that is, Yeah. So.
Yeah. Do you do anything now other than being outside?
Not now, actually, but I do play a lot of pickleball. And in the winter time at the academy on the east side, there's they do these all-nighter tournaments for volleyball.
Oh, really?
So I play volleyball, dude. And
what was that place called?
The Academy. Dude, it's so fun. It literally goes from 7 p.m. to 3 or 4 a.m. It's so good.
I've never heard of this place.
We play, dude. They have 12 to 15 courts, and you just play matches on matches, and you get some good. I mean, you're dead tired. When you get home, you're just zoinked. But it's so fun because you get to create a team and hopefully a good team to win. You know, so.
And I found a deep love for volleyball during the pandemic. My fraternity, we were actually renting a fraternity house. We were building one, and then there was a fraternity on campus that had a vacant house because they were just restarting the fraternity. Anyway, they had a beach volleyball court out front. So during COVID, like you couldn't do anything at school, so we just played volleyball all day, every day. Dude. And we got so close doing so. They definitely saved our fraternity because we were just starting ours too. Definitely attribute that to like the success of our fraternity as well.
Yeah. Did you guys do like outdoor sand volleyball or just?
Yeah, it was a beach volleyball court in our front lawn. It was awesome.
That's hype.
Like you could so. If you guys are familiar with Butler, it's the Phi-Sci house that we were staying in. But right outside of it is a dorm, and then to the left of that was like the academic buildings. Okay. So like you just come back from class and put your backpack down and start playing volleyball. It was great. There was always at least 15 dudes out there. We had music going. It was a great time.
Probably shirts off, like.
Yeah. It was a good time, man.
Nice.
There wasn't a lot great about COVID. But the relationships I think that people built during it are lasting for sure.
Oh,
It was a tough time for everyone.
Right.
Man, we are getting
we're
getting pumped. So we've got a metal like bar upstairs. So we're gonna get some music the rest of the pod. It looks like I'm gonna turn us both down a little bit. But
come on, we got some background music. That's what we need. We gotta hype the podcast up.
On a Thursday. Let's go.
On a Thursday for real. Good.
Man. No, but I'm getting back. I try to get back into my health and everything. Me and my bud's got a climbing trip planned here in a little bit.
Sweet.
So
where are you guys going for that?
Red River Gorge. It's down in Kentucky.
Nice.
It's a pretty cool spot. We're gonna get down there, but I got on a scale because I was like, if I'm going up a wall, I need to make sure I'm not like breaking a rope. I don't know. Right. I just didn't feel like safe enough. I've been cutting those pounds off ever since I got on the scale, man.
So you do rock climbing a lot then?
I used to do it competitively in college. I started in high school, but once I quit football, I went to rock climbing competitively. But COVID impacted that.
What's that place on Mass Ave?
Yeah, North Mass Boulder.
Yeah.
I don't like bouldering myself. I think bouldering is really, really cool. But I like rope climbing. I think it's sorry, boulderers, but I think rope climbing is way more practical.
Yeah.
I like hiking mountains, so in order to get up the mountain, I haven't done any like legit mountaineering yet, but that's why I like to develop the skill of rope climbing, so I can go climb the Tetons, like just straight rock faces, man. That's what I'm about. I did a little bit of it in Idaho. There's no ropes involved, but I went on the bouldery face of the mountain and climbed up. I didn't like go up the ridge, the actual path. I climbed up the mountain instead. I just like that.
Yeah, it's fun because it's like a little risky and it like gets you out of your comfort zone. And yeah, I haven't done anything like that. I've done like climb time off of 69.
I've never been to Climb Time.
Yeah, it's like a small place, but
yeah.
Like definitely gets your grip going though. With your
it
arms,
does, man.
Forearms, like sheesh.
Yeah.
Get your veins moving, man.
Yeah, man. It's great. It's an expensive sport, but aren't they all nowadays? I do a little bit of jiu-jitsu too.
Oh, nice.
And that one's like not as hard like material cost wise, but the monthly membership is like 6 times climbing. It's crazy. And like if you have an off week, you feel like you lost like $70. Like, it's just not fair.
And they I have some of my friends do like Krav Maga. I don't know if you've done that.
I haven't done it, but it's
totally different, probably, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that. So I just wrestle people. I'm just like, we're wrestling the boys, just take them out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's fun.
Have you ever participated in a fight night?
I have not.
Way off real estate.
No, I have not, and I probably don't plan on doing it. But I don't want to get killed. I'm just kidding.
I'll plead the fifth. Anyway, no. You've got these 5 properties in Indy. What do they look like? When did you purchase them? Did you purchase them with hard money or private money? What's your investment strategy looking like?
So right now, we bought them from my dad's been in real estate for years.
Yeah.
And he does the land contract seller financing model.
Okay.
These properties are not, the 4 inner city properties are like, they're not the best looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're good fixer-uppers, though, for an investor or a homeowner to come in and flip it or whatever. And so Our goal and our business model is just to sell it typically to Hispanic buyers. That's who come to us because they have cash, a lot of cash. And we give them an opportunity to buy, and we're just the bank, and they pay monthly payments for, like a mortgage for 15, 20 years. And then they pay us interest, and just how a bank would, basically charge you for, like, we're just the bank. And it's worked for us, but honestly, like, I want to focus on doing bigger things, like, again, the multifamily stuff and acquiring and bigger assets, bigger portfolios, because I feel like it's easier to manage 100 units in one building rather than 100 units around the whole city, or 100 properties around the whole city. You know what I mean? So, because usually multifamily, they'll have, typically on that side, they probably most likely have a management team, property manager in place, all that stuff. So it's already established. You're basically just buying out a business in a building. So, and hopefully it's cash flowing by then, and maybe you could add value. So
yeah. Do you see property management in your future as well then?
I think so, yeah, because my partner, he's been in the property management game. He worked with Greystar, the largest property management company in the U.S., and he's got a lot of experience there, and we've definitely looked at, just acquiring properties, then adding it to that property management portfolio, or just acquiring property management companies. So, again, through private equity, that's kind of like the goal is to raise money from, limited partners, investors, and then to buy these companies and build them up and scale them to become excellent, and hopefully just create an ecosystem that helps the other portfolio companies within that holding company, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, that's kind of how I've been thinking and seeing about it.
And you sound pretty mature for a 21-year-old on business. Where did you learn about business?
Oh, gosh. My mom and dad were both entrepreneurs, so I've been super blessed that they've raised me well. I feel like not everybody has a mom and dad that they can look up to like that, and I realize that, and I'm just super grateful for what God's blessed me with these people, because I don't know honestly where I would be if I didn't have my parents, to be honest, because they've mentored me. They have showed me things that, my dad was taking me to these properties when I was young, and I'd be like, when I was young, I was like, I would never do this. But just getting that knowledge and experience has brought me like so much, like just a bigger mindset on things. And I know like this inner city stuff is not like my long term, but I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have that kind of experience when I was younger with my dad, and it's definitely helped me a lot. But I also think YouTube University, that's what I call it, like, bro, that has been a huge help. Just watching the right people, you know what I mean? You can't just watch anybody. You got to watch the right people. Yeah. And because there's a lot of misinformation out there in this world. There's a lot of faker jakers, and
what'd you call them?
Faker jakers.
I never heard that.
I just came up with that. Like,
yeah,
faker
really?
jakers, yeah. But hold on. Man, comes up like every 10 minutes or so. But yeah, that's generally like what I have been looking at, is YouTube a lot has helped my mindset. Because I think if you don't have the right mindset first, you can't get to your goals.
Yep.
Because there's going to be a lot of adversity and failures that are going to happen along the way, and how are you going to handle that,
Yep. One of my youth pastors growing up is I guess we're back. One of my youth pastors growing up is an agent at Properties.
Okay.
Which is under. I'm turning off my phone real quick. Sorry, it's been blowing up.
Oh, good.
Scott White talks to you today. But he used to be my youth pastor, and I was telling him today how I just got back into going to church, and I downloaded the Traders Point, so I downloaded their worship podcast. And that's the only music I've listened to the past 2 weeks. I don't listen to music very much. When I do, I listen to 50 Cent and J. Cole and Kanye.
I'm not gonna lie, you do look like J. Cole.
I had the freeform dreads for a while, and like I would go to parties and people like very intoxicated people would be like, J. Cole?
Bro,
No.
I love that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had that going for a while. I love J. Cole, but
Yeah.
50 Cent, if I'm like on the way to go do something where I need to get hyped up, 50's my guy.
I like 50. He's good. He's pimping, bro.
If I'm feeling like a world conqueror, Kanye, that's my guy.
Yeah.
It's like he's deep and philosophical about it, so
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that's the
I like
mode
Kanye,
he puts
man.
me in.
Yeah.
And then J. Cole's he's just my guy. Like, I went to his concert 2014.
Did you hear
got
his new
pit
album
tickets.
recently?
Yeah, I haven't listened to it like how I would have used to listen to music, but
Yeah.
I put it on while driving.
Yes, sir.
I don't pay attention to music much anymore.
Right.
I still love it, and I love talking about the culture of it, but I rarely listen to it.
Yeah.
I just love podcasts. I
Yeah.
always have a podcast on. My
Probably-
girlfriend hates me.
You're probably learning a lot more. I mean, I don't know. I'll split it up. You know what I mean? Listening to music allows me to think more. I feel like podcasts allow me to think more, but it's more like of the topic they're talking about.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it definitely could work both ways.
Definitely expands my vocabulary. I'll say that.
Right.
I started the ritual. I was a finance professor of mine at Wake. He told me to start listening to the Wall Street Journal, What's News podcast. They release it every morning, and then at 5 again. There's twice a day that you get to listen to business, finance. Like half the time, I'm not really caring about what they're talking about, but I'm
Sure.
learning like policy like as it goes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just learning how the world works 15 minutes at a time, twice a day.
Yeah. That's good. You're always learning. I think if you're always learning, you're never dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're always a curious person, I think that's going to definitely benefit you for sure.
There's some moments where it gets too heavy though, and I'm listening to too many podcasts, and then I just turn the radio off and drive in silence.
Yeah. Hey, that works too. I do that as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. You said you're a faith-based entrepreneur. I just recently got back to church. I'm down to talk about faith if you are.
Dude, I love Jesus, man.
All right.
Like,
all right.
that's why I'm here, honestly. And I'm like, this is just where I'm at, just the beginning, kind of the whole beginning of what he's gonna do in my life and in your life. So yeah, dude, I'm definitely down.
Let's do it.
What do you got?
I don't even know where to go with it. It's such a deep topic.
Right.
I'll just talk about my religious background, I guess.
Talk about your story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's been hard, what's been good. You know, talk about it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. We're doing a testimony on the air today. And I remember I signed up. This is about the time that I like fell out of love with Christ. Was when I signed up to do a testimony. I never gave it.
Yeah.
But Christ, where do I start with Christ? Didn't really grow up like super religious. My mom's from down south Indiana. Like Christ is a part of life down there, but people aren't like going to church all the time. At least
Right.
they weren't. My dad's from Mississippi / Tennessee / Indiana.
Oh wow.
Definitely like church throughout his life and everything, but my parents were both on a couple of divorces when they got married. Christ wasn't like what they were doing at that time. We weren't super big into church. Me and my mom did go quite frequently to a church. But then that church ended up just not being like the home for us, and that kind of hurt my love and relationship with Christ as well. They started they were very homophobic church. My mom we didn't vibe with that. I'm bisexual, so that that wasn't me when I was then, but
Right.
like that definitely wouldn't have been the spot that we stayed at.
Sure.
So I played upward basketball. Was really my only relationship with Christ until I was like in my teens again. I finally got invited back. I mean, throughout sports, you're doing the Lord's Prayer before football games. Like I know who Jesus is. I'd read the Bible at that point a few times through, but the relationship wasn't there all that much.
You're treating it more like a religion rather than a relationship.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to say it like that too, because like it's kind of what I've coming to learn. Like now, coming back to it, like you learn so much as you get older. But then I got invited back to church. I gotta step back before I go to that, and why it took such a big gap. Probably so my parents got divorced when I was 7 or 8. So that's like definitely when I didn't really know Christ that much then, but like as I got older, probably I'd say 10 is where I'd consider myself atheist. From 10 to probably, when was it? 15, 16. There's a thing at Traders Point called Catalyst.
Okay.
Definitely was peer pressure. I was amongst the popular crowd. I wouldn't say, this is something I talk about frequently. I've never said it on air or anything. I think I was more popular more so because of the color of my skin than like anything. Like I was from Zionsville. Like you probably know your black friends from high school a lot more because there were few of them.
Right.
They're gonna take up. It's just easier to remember them. And I think that has a lot to do with popularity growing up. I think a lot of black kids get put in that situation where everybody's looking at you. So I think I'm comfortable doing podcasts and talking about my faith in front of you, and I don't even know you that well. Like I'm super comfortable with that. But it also is attributed to like how I didn't love Christ. Like I put life on myself for a while, so I got really used to doing everything alone. Parents were divorced. A lot of kids, when their parents get divorced, especially black kids that aren't in the best financial position, raise themselves as a father of none, that's what my aunt calls it, or a son of none or something. I forget. I forget what she says. That's what she calls it. And that's how I saw myself for a while. I was really good at sports. I achieved very well in life. I didn't think I needed God. I didn't think I needed it.
Like taking matters in your own hands, like
that
type.
Yeah, I was like, I got this, man. What do I need you for? That's kind of how I felt about it. But then at the same time, like Tim Tebow was big, and that really seeped its way into the football culture for a while. So football really brought me back to it, and where I was going earlier, there was a thing at Traders Point called Catalyst. The cool kids went to it. It was like, if you're familiar with like Young Life, it was pretty similar to that. It wasn't all cool kids, but it was really where there were a lot of partiers and kids like that went there. So it wasn't always about faith. But that's how I started and got introduced to it and started going back to church. That lasted for a good 2 years. I started dating a girl from that, and it didn't go well, and the way it happened to me made me feel that it was because of like my relationship with Christ and starting to go back to church. Like it felt like Jesus was the problem in the relationship. Is what it felt like, and that people, I just felt hurt by like the people around me in that situation, and they're claiming to be Christians, and I felt like I was in a bad spot. So I fell back out of love with Christ, and that's probably been me for quite a while. Freshman year of college, I did have a minor. My minor was anthropology. I went into college with a dual major, ended up only with one. I was like, why do I need 2 degrees? I can just kind of fuck around a little bit. I had a major that was anthropology with a focus in religion. So I spent 2 semesters like really going into religion. At that time, I was dating a Muslim girl, and that really helped me open my eyes back up to religion, just period. And the fact that I was taking the classes as well. So that's when I identified myself as agnostic. I will still diagnose. I will still define myself as agnostic, but this is why I say this. And somebody that's more philosophical and knows more about religion than me, like I took 2 semesters, I don't know all that much. Maybe I don't have the definition correctly, and it sucks to put labels on people anyway, but people are going to ask you. So you got to come up and fit yourself into a box, whatever. So I call myself like agnostic with a Christ background or a Christian background. Like that's how I relate. I talked about this in my last podcast, actually. Like that's how I relate to religion or spirituality is Christianity. It's Avatar, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like when he goes like into the whatever realm, like Christianity is my way of getting into that, and that's my spirituality. I think I have a very different view of spirituality and a different worldview from traditional Christians. So I don't like to label myself as a Christian for people to ascribe things to me, I guess. Maybe it's like a danger thing. Like I don't want to be wearing the scarlet letter all the time. I don't know if that's my. Like I'm fine with people knowing that I love Jesus. It's fine. I have God is greater than the ups and downs here. I did have a tattoo of a cross behind my ear. I did get it covered because I just didn't feel comfortable having a cross on my body. It wasn't as much as like religion and spirituality, but I felt like I didn't need to have a cross. I just didn't need to have that. It didn't feel it didn't feel right to me. So I got it covered up with a tree, and that's because I feel like that is a better symbol of my spirituality. It's behind my ear. The reason I got across there, I had decided that spot on my body was going to be where I left something spiritual for myself. So it has evolved. Nature and just life is more so my symbol of my spirituality than a cross is.
Gotcha.
That's where I land and where I am with Christ. I do love him, and I understand all the great things he's done in my life. I've definitely progressed from that teenager thinking that I could put everything on my back and it was all me, but grew up to be a little more humble. My dad did raise me very humble. That's one thing I definitely pride my dad for or give him credit for. But not in the sense of letting God take the award or recognition for it. But that's something I'm comfortable with now. I understand that Christ is something that some people see as the truth. I'm one of those people. I think that God created science, and I think that science is beautiful. It's crazy that this table is here. Like, it came from a tree somewhere, like grew out of nothing. That's somehow made it to the whatever millionth year that we are on this planet. Like, that's beautiful, man. And somebody did that. Like, that's
There's no way there couldn't be a creator.
It's God.
Like that. Yeah.
Like, however you want to see him, somebody did that.
What do you think
it's a system.
What was like your biggest takeaway that you got from dating that Muslim girl? Because that would open my eyes too.
Yeah.
Like if I was dating somebody.
Yeah. Man, where do I start with that? The first thing was definitely diet. Thinking about that, just thinking that like people can think so differently about what they eat based off of what they've ascribed their spirituality to. That was like the first thing that I was like, people are different. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. People are different. That's my biggest takeaway then was that religion is kind of geographic in a sense. That everybody has it. Spirituality, everybody has it, but people learned how to tap into it differently. And that's where I think that, this is what religions are. It's your way to tap into your spirituality.
Yeah, that's good.
There's different ways. They pray, we pray.
Right.
They got a book, we got a book.
No, it's different for sure. Yeah. That's cool.
And I also like read scripture from different religious texts as well, and it's like they're saying the same thing, man, just like slightly different perspective. That's where I grew respect for the world for sure. Like peace, love, and positivity all the way through. No reason to be fighting all this crazy stuff that's going on right now, man.
Man, I don't watch the news, dude. That's just not my thing. My dad and my mom would always watch the news. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that.
I'm a newsie.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to stay up with trends and stuff, but man, like the wars and all that crap, like I feel like the news just bombards you every day with that stuff, and it's like,
and you don't even know what's right.
Yeah, like, I know.
I hate, like, I'm somebody that keeps up with the cycle. And one day I'm believing something, and 2 days they're telling me, oh, we were wrong.
For real.
And then, like, were you wrong about being wrong?
It's like, what do you even trust anymore? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, so you definitely have to take it from different outlets. Like I said, I listen to Wall Street Journal, but that's just my basis.
I listen to Wall Street, too.
That's good podcasts.
Yeah, for real.
All their names are such great. Anne-Marie Fertoli, that is a podcaster.
Do you listen to Lex Friedman at all?
I did really heavy for a while, but he took that break, and then other podcasts filled the hole while he was gone. I just I should get back into him. I got back into Joe Rogan a lot more recently, though. His guests recently have been all on point. There hasn't been a bad episode recently.
Wow,
been pretty good.
That's good. Hey, that's good.
And they're long. I would love someday to have this be a 3-hour conversation where people just sit and chat, but I'm young and I don't even have that much that people are gonna care to pay attention to, you know?
Yeah, but as long as you're consistent, I mean, I do a lot of social media too, and I mean, that consistency over time hopefully will build into something great. So yeah, if you enjoy it, that helps even more. You know what I mean? It kind of amplifies it.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it. I've gotten to know you a lot better just being here. I had no clue that you had 5 investment properties. You probably told me, but I didn't remember.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
I'm not your philosophy on business as well.
Dude, yeah.
It's got me. I'm gonna re-listen to this podcast for sure and learn from you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a guy. Again, coming back from a humble background, my mom and dad raised me with humility as well. I feel like a lot of younger guys and older wealthy guys too can be super prideful and have a massive ego, and that's not somebody who I want to be. because I know I could lose that just like that. You know what I mean? All of it too.
Mhm.
I've had times where it's been scary where I'm like, oh shoot, is everything gonna be gone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And God can take it away anytime if He doesn't trust you. So you got to just be a really, really great steward of, because all the assets, all the businesses, all belong to Him, and they're all ministry at the end of the day because you're impacting the people, not numbers. Are only temporary. They're gonna be gone. Money's gonna be gone. It's just paper. It's gonna be gone one day. It's all temporary. But if you look at a much eternal, bigger perspective, it's the people. It's the people that Jesus would want you to focus on, because there is a heaven and there's a hell, and in my Bible, that's what it says, and I'm trusting that. You know what I mean? So I'm trusting the Word and what God says, what's gonna happen, and so I'm trying to just live it out as best I can. Just to be a beacon of His light for a lot of people in this world.
And you just said all the key buzzwords for me to tell you my view of heaven.
Yeah.
You just said all of them.
Dude.
I don't know everybody. I have no clue what other people think of heaven and hell. I think it's impossible to understand what other people
it's
think.
way beyond us.
Yeah, and everybody has a different perspective. Like I can't even understand what other people describe. Like sometimes I can.
Right.
I'll go ahead and tell you mine.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of a Logic song. I forget what it is, but it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson or somebody talking about the existence of the world. What is that? I can't remember, but it's similar to that, and that's why I tell people to listen to understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I see heaven as beacons of light connected by life. And I think you get your spot in heaven by being a beacon. I think heaven is God's way of saying this is harsh to say. I don't know if this is the right way to say that, but your soul is worth being a part of eternity. As I think that, you did, and you had a relationship with Christ, and you were the beacon. You showed other people the way, or yourself the way.
Yeah.
That network and web of beacons is like our conscience,
Yeah.
our subconscious.
That's cool.
Like Sigmund Freud, like the connected or the whatever conscience. That's what I think heaven is. Like when people have an innate sense to do good, that's heaven. And hell is if you were somebody that took advantage of the light and never contributed towards it, you don't get to be a part of it eternally. You don't get downloaded into the eternal subconscious. We just erase you. That's the harsh way that I look at it.
That's good. That's interesting. I love hearing other people's perspective on that because I have no clue either what it would be like. But we'll find out.
Beers with Jesus on the beach,
bro. We'll find out when we find out. I guess you know what I mean. But I know I want to be the first one up that elevator, and man, I want to hug that guy so much. You know what I mean? Because where he's taken me, and it's not been easy. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
A relationship with Jesus is not easy, but I can tell you it's so worth it. And He creates testimony off your story for other people to see His light. And that's why you're saying the beacon of your light. I totally believe in that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I gotta go into deeper testimony sometime. And you just made me realize, I just got that. You really just get that feeling when you're talking about Christ, and it's just dopamine going to your brain. And you're like, oh my gosh, shit's making sense.
Dude, yeah.
I want to go into that right now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It'll be a different time.
Yeah. We can always do a second podcast, man. I'm down, bro. Part 2.
Yeah. I'm just glad I have that feeling. I feel like I haven't had that in a long time. I don't have religious conversations very often. It's hard to have nowadays, man.
Right.
It really is.
No, I agree. But if you can be bold, and not timid and shy about it, it might be awkward. But if you don't make it awkward, people see generally how you live. The way you live is how people, view Christ, I think. So if you're living in a poor way and, in a way that's maybe tearing people down rather than supporting and lifting people up, they ain't going to be around you, bro. But if you're loving, just genuinely loving them as a person and what they're doing and helping them get kind of where they are to where they're called to be for their purpose, I'm all in for that. And that's a lot of it by being an entrepreneur and a founder of a company. You have people that are on your team that you're trying to help them get to one place to another in their life. They're not just working in a job. It's much bigger than that. Yeah. It's not just helping them, but it's also helping their families, right? All of my people are Hispanic. So in the cleaning company and the landscape company, all Hispanic. and they're from Mexico, Nicaragua, Honduras, wherever. They got tons of family down there, and like I just want to be that support for them, you know, because they when they come up here, bro, they don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. It's hard to trust people. I get it. I don't know what I would do if I was coming up here alone like that, or it would be tough. You know, the change would be tough for sure. So
that's crazy. Just the way money runs around the world.
yeah.
I'm not gonna go into that right now. Oh my god, I might touch something on that.
Yeah.
No, I definitely, I've started to feel that. I've sent out my first check to 1099. They're not an employee, but they're on my team, and sent out the first check, and it's like, man, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't mind being the provider, and it's nice to be in that position. I've always grown up as somebody that, no chance I can give somebody else some money to do something I can do. Like, that was never a position I grew up from. And like, to do that,
Feels
like,
so good, probably.
and it's hard. Like, it doesn't happen smooth all the time. It's only been a couple weeks. I still have a lot of training to do. I don't even know how to train people.
Sure.
So it's hard, but it feels nice to
Be a blessing for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and it could go so much bigger than you could ever imagine, you know, by giving. Whatever, it doesn't have to be money either. Your time, your resources, relationships, like giving in any way, I think can be really huge. And it's where your heart is. Like, if you're giving out of obligation, I mean, there's really no purpose in giving. You gotta give it from the heart, because you do feel it, like a different feeling. You know, you got that feeling. I get that feeling when I give back, and it feels so good, dude. It feels so much bigger than just me. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I would love, this is like so way down the line, and I've thought about it for not much. I was working at New Western.
Okay, yeah.
Not that I don't have to say that. Okay, I worked at New Western.
Yeah.
I've never said it on pod. I was trying to follow that policy, but cat's out of the bag now.
Hey.
I worked there for a while on Alabama Street, and there's always a lot of homeless people outside because there's a market right there, so they can ask people to go get stuff home really easily. I did frequently. There was actually a guy there all the time that I like recognized from coming downtown when I was a kid. I was like, that was crazy for me to see somebody on the streets 12 years later in the same spots.
Wow.
That was wild for me. Man, where would I go from there? Every time I walked by there and started to get ideas of starting my property management company, I was like, it'd be really cool to like every X amount of properties be able to, it's not HUD, like I can't even guarantee government money, but like to be able to cover them and put them in a program so that they could actually stay there for them on themselves.
Yeah.
That would be really cool to develop a program like that eventually. I think to give back like that, and you're somebody in real estate and you've got all these properties and the motive is to get the highest renter in there, and it's like, no, let's hold on like a second, like we've got like 100% of our business doesn't need to be focused on profit. Like
right.
if we have the margins to do so and the resources to do so,
make it happen.
There's no reason not
type
to.
of people.
Yeah, can you imagine the impact that if multiple people did that, if there were even 10 property managers in Indianapolis that got 10 people into a place for free for 2 to 3 years while they get their life on track, like, could you imagine the impact of that?
That's big. Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, like, no, going to that though, I feel like God's placed in my heart, you know, for these Hispanics. I've always had a heart for Hispanics. I love them. Like, they're amazing people. We treat each other like familia, you know what I mean? Because we are family, and we're family in Christ. And a lot of them know Jesus, and that's actually been a huge like blessing. And I'm fine with people who don't know Jesus. I would actually rather have people who don't know Jesus on my team, so then I can be a light to them to know the Lord. Because I don't know, it's just bigger that way. But anyways, I was just trying to say, like, I want to create a housing solution for these Hispanic-based people, because there's a lot of landscape companies I know, BAM, Hiddle, Brightview, whatever. These companies are massive companies that hire 100 to 200 people locally, just in Indianapolis, and they're all Hispanic, and right now they're just living in like apartments, just regular apartments, but apartments like, you know, 12-month leases, right? But these guys are temporary visas, so they come in for 9 or 10 months out of the year, and they go back to their homes in Mexico or Honduras, whatever. Yeah. And apartments don't. I mean, they're actually landscape company's paying more to house them for 12 months because they're paying 2 extra months if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to create a housing solution. I'm looking at a deal right now at it's a 100 unit deal on the south side, and I wanted to start housing these Hispanics because I believe just the amount of impact that these people can have an opportunity. Because I would sell them basically like as condos,
Yeah.
so they have an opportunity to buy. Whether it's the landscape company that wants to buy, 50 out of the 100 or 30 out of the 100, or an individual Hispanic, that's a local Hispanic that wants to buy for their family or whatever. It's not gonna be huge, but
Yeah.
at least it's something that they can put their heart towards and like create it like as a home for them. And I don't know, I want to create that opportunity, and I know that's God's calling for me to do it. It's taken some time, way longer than I would ever expected, but I've learned so much is how the process works, how even like going towards a 100 unit deal is like,
Yeah.
I'm 21, like that's a pretty good sized deal starting. Like, that's my first multifamily deal, but I'm like, bro, I'm going big. And if I mess up, I don't want to mess up because this is my first deal. I want to create the traction and reputation, obviously. So I got to make sure this is right. But if I mess up, at least I learned something, and maybe we can try again. So
I don't know like the exact particulars of it, but good like backup plan in those. I don't. One question I wanted to ask you: you said they're only here for 9-10 months.
Yeah.
Are there people that they like, need to work right after that, or is there like a 3-month gap? There's not workers.
So up here at least, you have snow, and like in the winter months, it's like 3 or 4 months out of the year. I'd say it's just slow. Like you don't really need. It's only the local people that you would really need to hire,
Yeah.
and a lot of these companies you'll see will sub their snow workout anyways. Now you'll see too with these companies are trying to like keep their visas by getting them through the immigration program to like allow them to be U.S. citizens. So, but that takes like a couple of years at least. So it takes time, but you'll start to see more and more Hispanics become citizens through that program, hopefully. So then, we do have the labor as service companies because service-based companies, landscaping, roofing, cleaning, even cruise ships, like these are all H-2B visa people. These are all foreigners, but they work so hard and they got way bigger work ethic than, a lot of Americans, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to help a lot of our market and our currency, like just as a country as a whole. And I believe that, I'm not trying to get into politics and all that. I don't like politics, but like I believe that they need to do it the right way. And I'm so glad to show them the right way. But I like if they don't do it the right way, they won't have the opportunity, the American dream, like you and I do. And so if they don't do it the right way, they'll be hiding and they'll be scared because they can't really do much and they can only work for somebody. And I'm like, dude, it's so much bigger than that. So rather show them how to do it the right way, have them trust me, because having that trust is huge.
Yep.
And actually, in February, I had Pastor Bates. Was it? It was from Traders Point, I think. No, Mercy Road. Sorry, Mercy Road, Northwest. But he has an office there, and I'm like, he helps a lot of foreigners, Africans, Hispanics, and all that, Haitians, and so I'm like, Pastor, can I bring some of these people over, maybe like 5 or 6, right? And he's like, sure, yeah, I'm willing to help them at least get through doing the right way and allow them to get started on the process. And I'm like, bro, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day, like, they just kept showing up, dude. I'm telling you, we started with 5 or 6 in one like tiny room.
Yeah.
They kept showing up. We had 10, 20, 25, and then
That's
like
awesome.
30
That's
came
awesome.
up for that first time. And we're like, Pastor, we got to move to a different room,
Yeah.
and like a way bigger room. And so that was the first time. Then I'm like, okay, I'm doing this a second time because I know there's a need for this. Another 30 showed up. And I'm like, bro, this is insane. This is amazing. And so like, I know this is God's will. I know it is. But his timing has got to be perfect. And I'm just trying to be the best steward I can be to help these people as much as I can. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if it's legal to do so or if you guys are qualified to do so, but you guys should make a webinar to like get people's attention. People are on their phones all the time. They can't get to you.
Yeah. I know, like, bro, I'm telling you, when a company or service company, doesn't have to be landscaping, but if they say yes to this housing opportunity, the rest of them will follow. I know it for sure, because this is really not going to just help the landscape company, but it's going to help their people most importantly.
Yeah.
Which is huge. They want to help their people. Yeah. Hopefully. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
Dude, I mean, this could be all over the U.S. We're talking, like, dealing with national companies that have thousands of people that they're hiring.
Yep.
That's what I want to get to. I want to get to that point of whether it's working with extended stay type properties that they need to no, you're good. They need to just improve their property portfolio and adding more tenants, like helping them in that way, or just buying and acquiring big motel, hotel type properties or multifamily properties that would work numbers wise for these companies and the people. So I don't know. Trying to make it full cycle so the company could make money, but they're helping their people along the way too.
Also save money probably, right?
Right, yeah. Exactly. So,
and like if you get enough proceeds from some of those, you could purchase some of those and offer leases. Like corporate type leases. Your company leases it out for 12 months. Like you said, they're not there for 12 months, but
yeah. And I would totally do it with my people. I mean, I know like my amigos, they want to buy or rent. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're getting kicked out all the time. They're living on the west side, like in Hallville or 38th and Lafayette. And you know as well as I do, those are terrible areas. Yeah. And they literally show me just shootings in their backyard, just on video. I'm like, how do you guys live like this? It's just bullets flying. I'm like, how do you guys live like this? So I was just talking with the Lord. I'm like, what should I do? And past couple years, he's been showing me this idea. And I know this is his idea, not mine. He takes all the credit for that because it's way bigger and way beyond me, you know. But we'll see what happens, bro. I'm just praying about it. And I know it'll help a lot of people, thousands of Hispanics. It doesn't even have to be Hispanic either. It can be Haitians, Africans, I don't know. You know, anybody.
People trying to get their start on life.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
That's wild.
But
that's cooler than my big mission.
I mean, I don't know, bro. We each have a different purpose, you know what I mean? So, but
I'm still real estate related. I've talked about it before. I want to do, and it's also lawn care related. I want to have like a decentralized urban farm where on the properties that I manage and or own, fruit is grown to be sold and to have everybody, the property owners, profit. The tenants as well. Like if it's a well-established farm that we've been able to put there for 5-6 years, it's had many cycles and it's developed, like we can subsidize their rent.
Right.
Be awesome.
Yeah, I know. That'd be really much bigger and I don't know, it's just so much more macro thinking, and I like that, you know. I don't want to get too stuck in the weeds of my life. I want to just let go of all the, I don't know. I feel like just the world can consume you sometimes.
Yeah, man.
You can be just so distracted, and so it's really important to have Jesus in the center of everything. Because man, I have no clue where I would be. Like seriously, I genuinely say that because I know I would not be here without him today. I mean, when it comes to the house, properties, landscape company, the cleaning company, meeting great people like you, relationships, it's just crazy. I just look back, I'm like, dang, this is insane for a young buck, you know? So
life's wild and it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep it wilder too. But I would say to those out there that don't have Jesus or like the center of their life, that's totally fine, man. Like we're not gonna force that on you, but do recognize you have something in your life that's at the center of it. Healthy or unhealthy. Make sure you know what that thing is. That's how you're gonna learn from yourself. If it's sports, if it's video games, if it's cooking, whatever it
that's
is, as you learn that relationship with that task, item, person, thing, you'll learn more about yourself as well. It doesn't have to be Jesus. I understand it's not for everybody.
Yeah. I like that. That's good. You know, yeah.
Everybody has something their life's focused on.
Bro.
You have, like,
yeah.
how can you live a life that's not that way?
Yeah. Everybody's got decisions to make, so.
Well, yeah, how are you deciding? Like, how are you deciding yes or no? It's just a
Yeah.
binary decision. Something has to guide you.
Hopefully you're making the right decisions, though. You know what I mean?
You're not gonna make them all right. You're
Right.
not. There's no way you can make them all right. And sometimes the worst decisions you make turn out to be the biggest blessings you'll ever have.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And failing's okay. You know what I mean? Hopefully you're failing forward. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of people quit and give up, but dude, you just gotta fail forward, because I think after the failure becomes the greatest reward after that.
Yeah.
You'll see it's like, wow. And that could be your greatest testimony right there after that failure.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. You see it as an opportunity, not something to be scared or in fear of.
Yeah.
So.
Your worst day is your worst day. That's something Joe Rogan says all the time. Like,
That's good.
your worst day is way different than mine, but that's your perspective of the worst day ever.
Yeah.
You have no clue, man. Everybody's life's different.
For real, man.
I'll get you out of here soon. Before you get out of here, though, you do
Yeah.
have to answer a couple of questions for me.
Right.
Number one, what are 3 spots in and around Indianapolis that you enjoy? What are 3 spots in and around Indianapolis that you enjoy? Could be a restaurant, a golf course, a gym. 3 places that you find home.
Wow. That's a good question. I gotta think about this a little bit. I like going to Ursay downtown, YMCA. Like working out there. I love working out. I don't know. I love like just the layout and the glass and everything, kind of looking at downtown. So that's kind of cool. Man, I love my property where I live at, actually. I mean, it's not my long-term property by all means, but we got a sick place. I'm not gonna lie. We got the basement's all man caved out. We got a projector screen, like movie theater layout. We got 3 acres to do whatever the frick we want. You know what I mean? Like we have bling bling our moped. We got motorcycles. Like we got a trail too. That's kind of like the Monon trail.
Yeah.
And dude, we just fly. I mean, I clocked out at 50 miles per hour on that moped, and I was gonzo, dude. I love that thing. But dude, the East Side, I call it the East Side, and man, it's been such a cool place to like just have some great memories and just do it with the people you love, most importantly. Third thing, man, I don't know. I like the, gosh, it's tough.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? I mean, dude, I like Qdoba. I like a lot of different restaurants. Qdoba, Chipotle, Taco Bell. Dude, I will eat any food. You name it, I'll eat it.
All
So I don't really have a favorite, honestly. I just eat whatever is like on the table. I'm like, all right, that works.
You ever been to, this isn't like Mexican food, but have you ever been to Mama Carola's?
Dude, no, I love Mexican though.
You gotta go. It's like is it Creole there? Someone's gonna correct me. For Cajun food. It's pretty good. But they have like pastas and stuff. Really damn good food.
What part of town is
It's
that?
Broad Ripple.
Okay.
It's Broad Ripple. I think it's on like 54th.
Dude.
But
Broad Ripple has some solid like fireplaces.
it does, man.
I don't come over here that often though, other than business and stuff, but eating wise, not often. So
I'm in Broad Ripple pretty frequently. I was looking at a flip
Yeah.
there today, but numbers didn't work out. But it is what it is.
hey, dude, sometimes it takes 100 deals to look at to find the right one.
Oh.
I've learned that recently, especially, you know. So
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate your time here today. Sounds like we're getting a good exit.
come on, man, let's
Thanks
go.
so much.